Board. Hi, this is Jenny with Compass Travel. Thank you for joining us on our Travel Tuesday. I'm very happy to invite Mary Margaret Reuther with AmaWaterways to join us this evening. She's got a fantastic presentation, and I just want to start out saying how much I have personally enjoyed traveling with AmaWaterways. My husband and I were able to celebrate Ring in the New Year for 2020 when we all had such high hopes for travel. But what a spectacular time that we had. And we know that those days are coming back. And in fact, if you're thinking of traveling or on a river cruise for 2022, you need to be thinking right now. So this is a great way to experience Europe if it's your first time going to Europe, or if it's your 12th time going to Europe. A river cruise is such a wonderful trip. I can't say enough. So enough from me. What we want to hear from is Mary. Thanks for joining us, Mary.
You're so very welcome, and thank you for inviting me. I am so excited to be one of your presenters, and I'm so excited to tell you that, yes, you hit the nail right on the head, that if you've got any inclination of wanting to travel via river cruise in 2022, please talk to Jenny now, because even though we are, we are open for 21 still, August to December is still available. People who did not travel in 20 are thinking they moved a lot of those bookings to 22. So again, think about 2022, and we are opening 2023 as we speak. We're opening it in phases. So, we've got Portugal open, we've got France open, and this week we are opening the Rhine and the Moselle. So, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the Rhine and Moselle in my presentation. So what you see in the background, though, is Vilshofen. And Vilshofen is one of our major ports that we absolutely love. It's a kind of an embarkation port for us, or a disembarkation port if you're going to go on to Prague, or if you're going to go on to Munich as a pre or a post. And what you're seeing in front of you also is our twin balcony ships. The Amatirto is one of them. She is 443 feet long and 37 feet wide. And I'll talk about our ships in a little bit, but let's get started on our journey. I'm first going to introduce you to my family. It's the Ama family, and we would love to have you there with us. Rudy Schneider, one of our co-founders and president. Excuse me. He's also known as the godfather of river cruising, but he's also our architect. So he designs all of our ships. Christine Karnst, another one of our co-founders and our executive vice president, and Gary Murphy. The original co-founder was Jimmy Murphy, his dad. And unfortunately, Jimmy passed away in 2014, but Gary has taken over the helm as co-owner, and he's our senior vice president of sales. And it is not unusual for them to show up on a ship unannounced. You could be having breakfast and they could ask to join. So again, we welcome you to our Ama family. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I am showing you this slide because on your right, you see all of our ships. We own them all. Every single one of them debt-free, right? As Rudy says, and we paid the last 10 ships that we put in the water, we paid for in cash. What we've been doing during this COVID time, we've taken the Amabella and the Amaverte, our first two twin balcony ships, and we've gutted them and we've redone them. So they're not only built in 2010 and 2011, but also in 2020. We are putting in the Ama Sienna. She's actually in the water. She's getting all of her finishing touches done so that she could sail maybe late spring, we hope. And the Ama Lucia is also in the water getting all of her finishing touches as well. And the Amadelia, who is our Egypt ship, she is in the water ready to rock and roll for September. And this is where we go, all right? We do all the rivers of Europe. We do Portugal, as I mentioned, and it is open for 2023. Right? We have 2 beautiful itineraries and 2 beautiful ships. They're smaller ships, so they fill quickly. So if you're thinking of Portugal, talk to Jenny, all right? They're only 102 passengers. Okay? We have 5 itineraries in France to offer you, and we have our smaller ships, which are the 144 passengers. They're the 360-foot long ships and 37 feet wide, of course. And we have 1 of our twin balconies there. So we have 5 ships, 5 beautiful itineraries. And you know, those itineraries start on a Thursday and end on a Thursday. So what does that mean to you? That means that you could do a back-to-back very easily in France. So if your goal is to see the north and the south of France, you could very easily do that. Okay? But otherwise, we do the Rhine, the Main, the Danube, and we do them on those rivers. We do not do the Po in Portugal, nor do we do the Elbe. And for reasons being, the rivers are just too unpredictable as far as water levels. In 2009, we did start the Mekong, Vietnam and Cambodia, and we did add 2 years ago Thailand for your pre or your post. Africa we added in 2013, and let me tell you, if you've got Africa on your bucket list, have Jenny look at that for you, because we offer you 4 different itineraries, but South Africa is where you start. Cape Town, Johannesburg. We fly you to Botswana, where you will board the beautiful Zimbisi Queen. It's a 14-suite, 28-passenger ship. You sail the Chobe River for 4 nights. And we take you for 2 nights to Victoria Falls. After that, you have decided already, you're either doing South Africa, Kruger National Park, or East Africa, Tanzania for your safari, or you're going to do Rovers Rail. And it's a somewhat of a safari, but it's via rail, right? And of course, we do offer Rwanda for gorilla tracking, if you so desire to do that. And you're there, you might as well. But in 2021 of September, we are starting Egypt on the Nile. So that itinerary I've been waiting for. I mean, it's been on my bucket list since 7th grade. So again, I'm very excited about it.
I want to see those pyramids.
Oh, me too. You know, and we're offering a pre to Jordan, and a pre also your choice to Dubai. And then if you want to do a post, you could also do Israel. So again, and it's on, you know, we're doing 3 nights in Cairo, then we go to Aswan, where we board the Ahmadiyya for 7 nights, and then we're back to Cairo. It's it's such a wonderful journey. Can't wait. Of course, then, you know, it's only 68 passengers, so, you know.
Nice size to be around.
Very nice size to be around, yes. So what makes river cruising so special? Well, you know, we're inclusive, we're not all inclusive, and I'll kind of go through that as I go through this whole little spiel of mine. It's small. You know, our ships, 144 passengers, 154 passengers, 164 passengers, small. You know, you're not sailing with 5,000 of your closest friends. Our largest ship is the Ama Magna on the Danube, and that holds 196 passengers. So again, it gives you the feel of an ocean cruiser, but small. The excursions, they're included. You know, it's casual dress. You casually during the day, smart casual in the evening, all right? And we include other things, you know, the wine, and I'll talk about that. We talk about the internet, it's included. Again, lots more things included than big boy, in a sense, as I call them, or blue water. So why do you want to river cruise with us? Well, number one, I think it's our tours. Because as I mentioned a little bit earlier, you know, every time we stop, there is a tour and it is included, right? And we give you choices, not options. Choices are free, options will cost you money. So for an example, as we're sailing on the Rhine and we leave Basel, all right, you're going to have to make a choice. Do you want to do Freiburg, Rickwilder, or do you want to do Birch? Three choices. Your choice. And then after you've made your choice, you may also have to choose between a culinary tour, a cooking class, bike tour, or a walking excursion as far as a hike. Okay. Then you want to be part of my gentle walkers. They walk just a little bit slower. My regular walkers are what I like to call my power walkers because, you know, they just want to go through the tour and go play or go shop. Okay. So we also offer late risers. So if you want to sleep in, it is your holiday. Want to sleep in, we do start a little bit later for you guys. Okay. And we now also have, which we started a couple of years ago, independent tours. You don't want to be with a tour guide. So you go to the front desk and you say, you know, I'd rather do this myself. We give you a map. We give you some suggestions as to what you should see, maybe, if you'd like, and what time to be back at the ship. Because if you're not back at the ship, you are going to be Ubering it to the next destination, right? But if you're on a bike tour, you can easily bike there. And when I say bike, I mean it. All the bike paths run along the rivers, right? And all of our ships, except for the Mekong, the Amadara, and in Portugal, our two ships in Portugal, have 26 bicycles on them. We have bike tours where they're organized, right? You could do 3, 5, 10, maybe 15 miles. They're not the 50 or 100 mile bike hikes, all right? Or you could just take them out yourself and tootle and come back. I love our organized ones because as we're on the guided bike tour, then we stop at the small towns. We may have a coffee, a beer. We may have, a pastry. So it's kind of fun. We also have wellness coordinators on every single one of our ships. And we do Tai Chi and yoga and aerobics on the sun deck. And if the weather isn't conducive, well, let me tell you, we move the furniture in the lounge area and we do it down there. And every single one of our ships has a fitness center. So our fitness coordinators also do fitness classes. Or you could just do your own thing, on your own. Just come down, sign into the fitness center and do your own, because it's state-of-the-art equipment, let me tell you. But let me talk a little bit about the food. Jenny, did you like the food on board?
Yes, we were so well fed. I would say every night with dinner, it was such a dilemma. And what a dilemma to have. So many wonderful choices. And every single meal was just delicious. That plate right there, I could eat that rack of lamb.
Yeah, really, isn't it? Every time I see it, I think, can I do that?
Right.
Yeah. But, meals have changed because of COVID, all right? In the past, and Jenny has experienced this, we had buffets for breakfast and lunch with a menu on the table, all right? But, because of COVID, we don't. But what we're doing now is we're kind of taking away the buffets, but we're having some action stations and the menu. So, you want to order from the menu, please do so. And when you sit down at the table, you yourself will be presented with some fruit and some rolls, right? But our action stations might be an egg, eggs made to order in a sense. So you would order that, or it might be a pancakes, waffles, etc. station, etc. Okay, so that's changing. But what we aren't changing with breakfast is our sparkling wine. You're on holiday, you can start off with a mimosa if you'd like. It's complimentary, all right? Or just a glass of sparkling wine. Lunch, this is changing as well. So we have got the menu on the table, and we will have an action stations such as pasta, sushi, etc. Plus, of course, our soups and our salads are beautiful. And whether we have a menu or not, it'll be, if you want more salad, you can order more salad. Not a problem. And then in our lounge area, what we're going to be having is burgers, brats, that type of thing. So for more of a quick meal, if you'd like. And then, of course, with that, if you wanted to go up to our sun deck, if it's a beautiful day, you can. And we will be doing barbecues up there as well. So meals have changed a bit because of COVID, but I think to the better. Dinner is basically stayed the same. usually 3 items on the menu. We also offer always filet, salmon, and chicken breast with a Caesar salad, and of course, our wonderful French fries. And I don't care what meal you're at, order our French fries because they are the best. I think I miss that somewhat the most, is ordering our French fries at least 1 or 2 of the meals. Oops, sorry about that. Didn't mean to do that. Lunch and dinner, we do offer unlimited free-flowing wine, beer, and soda. And the wines are regional. They're changed on a nightly basis, okay? And you can have, it's unlimited. I always tell my husband, and Jenny knows George, I only have 1 glass of wine with dinner. They just keep filling it. And please take that glass of wine up to the front desk, up to the lobby, up to the lounge, up to your stateroom, up to the sun deck. Not a problem. We don't stop you at the door, okay? And everything is baked, made on board. It's all fresh, locally sourced, and the only thing that we don't make on board is our ice creams, and we get that from a dairy in Belgium. So again, you will also experience with us 1 meal during every single journey, a Shen dinner, and that is a food association. Actually, it's kind of started in the 12th century. Was very, very active in Europe, for probably a good 500 years almost. Kind of lay dormant for a long time, was brought back to life in the 50s, and it is very, very active now, not only in Europe, but also in the United States, right? And Rudy was inducted into Shen back in 2010, and he really wants everybody to enjoy 1 dinner that's a Shen dinner, and it's quite an experience. So, and no, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. Sorry. We also are known for our chef's table. Now, it is dinner. There's no upcharge to have dinner there. It's alternative dining, but I have to tell you, it's the same dinner every single night, but you have to have dinner there once. It's 5 courses, wine paired. Small, intimate, like my smaller ships, my 360-foot long ships in France, they only have 22 to 24 passengers. My twin balconies, 24 to 28, my AmaMagna 36, so small. All you have to do is make a reservation when you get on board, okay? Tell our front desk you want to have dinner there Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Or you can form a group with Jenny, and with a group, Jenny's group coordinator can make a reservation for you. So, an idea, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. Every single one of our European ships has been given the Green Award. And the Ama Christina was the first one to receive that award back in 2019. And I want to tell you, that was a goal of Rudy's, because he's very, very concerned about what kind of carbon footprint are we leaving our future generations. When he designs our ships, he designs them so fuel efficient that we probably spend more money on our bandwidth than we do on fuel. Something to note. So let me show you a little bit and talk about our twin balcony ships. There she is, the Ama Siena. She is in the water. She is a beauty, let me tell you. She's 154 passengers. She's 443 feet long and 37 feet wide. And very fuel efficient, right? And that's what AmaWaterways is known for, as far as our twin balconies. And twin balconies are this. You can be sitting inside, open your French door, have the fresh air of outside. Or you have a veranda where you could have coffee, glass of wine, etc. Lots of storage, under the bed storage areas, one side for your luggage, because you don't want to look at that. You're on holiday, right? This is your home away from home. We give you lots of places to plug into at the nightstands behind that Apple TV. And that Apple TV is your TV, your music, first run Hollywood movies on demand, complimentary, as well as your internet with the keyboard and mouse. But our ships are totally Wi-Fi. You can sit anywhere and be connected to the world, right? No charge, 24/7. They also have mini fridges that are stocked with water. They usually start off with 3 bottles each. You can have 12 if you want. It's all complimentary. And then you see that drawer on the right hand corner? I call that my magic drawer, because inside that drawer, you will find a corkscrew, bottle opener, and 2 wine glasses. You're in Europe. You're finished with your tour, you're shopping, you go into a shop and you find a beer you can't get in the States, or you find a wine that you really want to try. Purchase it, bring it on board. Again, we don't stop you at the door. We give you the tools to even open it, to enjoy it while you are on board. Okay. We also, and our twin balconies start at 210 square feet. So 210, 235, as well as 350 square feet of cabin space. We do have 18 French balcony ship cabins that are 170 square feet on all of my twin balconies. Just kind of an FYI. We have connecting cabins on my 7 newest twin balconies. So if you are traveling with friends and family and you'd like to be connected, just talk to Jenny. And then of course we also have triples, which is also unheard of, but triples are 235 square foot, the 7 newest twin balcony ships. Right? So that's a single height of bed. Our suites, which are 350 square feet, can also be a quad. And all of my suites, no matter what ship you are on, they have dual sinks, bathtubs, and a walk-in shower. So let's travel, right? Everybody's been wanting to do this for so long. I know I have. But we're going to start on the Rhine. And we are going to also start in Basel, right? So the Rhine River, as you can see here, has many, many aspects. And we're going to do the Rhine, the Main, and the Moselle. Okay? We're going to start in Basel. We can end in Amsterdam. And look at all those beautiful cities that you can have the opportunity to visit, and all the various different journeys that we do offer, right? I'm going to give you just a touch of some of the cities that are along the Rhine. Tweak your interest. So starting in Basel, right, you had the opportunity of either doing, oh, sorry about that. You had the opportunity of doing a pre in Zurich and Lucerne. So you fly into Zurich, we spend 2 nights in Zurich, 2 nights in Lucerne, and then back to Basel. Or we also have a new pre or post, and that's Lake Como in Italy.
Oh,
yes.
nice.
Yes, and if you were doing a pre, you fly into Milan, we take you to Lake Como, where you spend 3 beautiful nights in Lake Como, and then to Basel. Okay? And Basel is quite a beautiful city. I know it's a very cosmopolitan city. It's a modern city, but it's also, as you can see, old. We give you a art tour. We give you a choice of a bike tour here. And if you have not done the Zurich to Lucerne, we also give you the opportunity to have a choice of going half day to Lucerne. So again, I talk about choices, and those are all complimentary. Please remember, every time we stop, you'll get a tour included. So as we leave Basel on the Rhine, we enter into, I like to say, the kind of the Black Forest area, right? So you have to make some choices. Do you want to do your tour in Barisch, where you can do a bike tour, or you could do a walking tour? You could also do a wine tasting in Barisch. Or you can choose Freiburg. In Freiburg, you see those, I guess, those steeples right there? They're known in Freiburg. That cathedral is known for its most gorgeous, gorgeous steeples. So again, you have that opportunity. And Freiburg is right on the edge of the Black Forest. And I've had many, many people come back to me and say, when I was in Freiburg, I ordered a cuckoo clock. Okay. Or you choose Rickwilder. And Rickwilder is actually, I love this little town. It's a great walking little 16th century type of town, but it is also, if you watch, and I suppose before you leave, and you have the choice of Rick Wilder, you should watch the movie by Disney, Sleeping Beauty. No, I'm sorry, Beauty and the Beast. I always get those two mixed up. Sorry. Always do. This is the city, the town that the Beauty and the Beast was molded after. They fell in love with this little town. So again, it's quite lovely. And if you notice, it is in France. So, you have Basel is in Switzerland. The countries are so close together, and many who work in Basel, they either live in Germany or they live in France. It's like a suburb. Then we head to Strasbourg. Beautiful Strasbourg in the Alsace region. And it is France. It started off when it was founded back in, I think, the 15th century or 13th century as Germany. Then it became France. Then it decided to be Germany again. But now it is definitely France. And what's beautiful about this whole Alsace region, besides the wines, all right? But in Strasbourg, you could do a bike tour. You could do a wine tasting, walking tour, is the food. It's got the German and the French flair to it. So a lot of the foods that if you were to sit at the cafe and order a pastry or say lunch, if you decided not to go back to the ship if we were going to be docked there, you might find that the tasting, they'll have the sauerkraut, but yet they won't have the sausage with it. They may have like what we call a flatbread, but they call it pizza. But it's kind of has a German flair to it with the French cheeses. Quite different. And if you're there during Christmas market, okay, Jenny, Christmas market, Strasbourg has the most beautiful Christmas markets because it was at one time Germany. And Germans have beautiful Christmas markets. French, a little bit more low key. But this one is gorgeous. Then we head to, again, we give you choices. Heidelberg, you visit the castle, you could do the philosopher's hike, or you could do just a city tour, right? Or you go into Spire and see the Romanesque cathedral in Spire. So then we head to Cologne. And again, there's so many UNESCO World Heritage Sites. The cathedral in Cologne is one of them, right? And where we dock in Cologne, we give you, again, some choices: bike tour, walking tour, culinary tour, right? Or where we dock is only a little ways away from what I call the Willy Wonka chocolate factory, because it is a beautiful chocolate factory that when we dock there, you could actually smell the chocolate being made. But again, and then of course the Rhine Gorge. And the Rhine Gorge is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's two to 2.5 hour journey on the Rhine Gorge, throughout the Rhine Gorge, and you get kind of a dissertation lecture from our cruise managers. And while you are having the lecture and the music and getting the idea of the castles, who they belonged to at one time, the cities and the towns that we're going to be passing, we're serving you Rudolfsheim coffee, because one of the places along the Rhine is Rudolfsheim. And then, of course, the Moselle. The Moselle River, to me, this whole area is probably one of the most beautiful regions in the world to me, because as you're traveling on the Moselle and you are looking at the scenery, what you're seeing is look at all these beautiful vineyards. And every time I'm on the Moselle, I look up and I go, how in the world do they handpick these grapes? I mean, they are so steep. That's why the wines are so beautiful, right? You get the Rieslings from the Moselle area. And one of the things I'll talk about a little bit was I didn't realize that you could also get a dry Riesling, which are delicious. You have the cathedral in Maine. I mean, this is absolutely gorgeous. And one of the beautiful things that you will see in Maine is St. Stephen's Church, which is right there, which we just saw on the outside. the Chagall windows. And those windows were actually during World War II. They took them out to protect them and put them back in after the war. So they are absolutely gorgeous. You could stand there for hours and just look at them. And then we visit Cologne. You have the choice. You could take a bike and up to that castle, or we will take you there via a bus. And we do some wine tasting and some culinary tasting up there. We also get a nice tour of Cologne itself. And you will have the opportunity to purchase mustard. Right? Now I'm going to give you a little insider tip. I always, when I travel, I line my suitcase with bubble wrap. Put my clothes in, put the bubble wrap on top of it, throw in some duct tape or masking tape, whatever, because I'm going to buy something. No matter if I'm going to buy a bottle of wine, I might bring a bottle of beer home for my husband because, but mustard, yes. You can wrap it in the bubble wrap, put it in your suitcase, and it will last. It will make it home. So just kind of an insider tip. And again, the vineyards. And as we're passing and we're going into these vineyards, you will meet, if you choose a wine tasting, you'll meet the owners of these vineyards. Or if you're on one of our wine cruises, because we offer over 70 wine cruises. In the course of, like in 22, there's 70 on the books. And they are all hosted by owners of vineyards in this country, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, etc. So again, you get immersed. But on a regular journey with us, you will still meet those owners. You'll do some wine tasting, ask them questions, right? And earlier I said, I didn't realize, because I'm not a sweet wine drinker, I didn't realize they have such beautiful dry Rieslings.
I have got to check that out.
Oh, and I'm going to tell you, Jenny, I don't know if in your area you have a Binny's. I'm sure you do.
Mm-hmm.
They sell a delicious Moselle from the Moselle region. It's called Slate, Slate. Delicious. And it's not really expensive. So again, it's a dry Riesling. And then of course we'll visit Bumburg in Germany. And I love this town not only because of its architecture, but I love just to sit at one of the cafes and people watch. And of course, have a pretzel, a cup of coffee. It's just you have to take the time not only to go on the tours, but to take the time to enjoy the scenery. Right? And then of course there's Wurzburg. And we do go up to that castle up there, right? And in the castle, you'll hear music and you'll have some culinary delights. But what's also lovely, and again, it's a choice. Those two, that red building and that white building by the bridge, those are wineries actually, right? And what people do in Wurzburg is they buy a bottle of wine and maybe some cheese and some bread, etc. And they sit on the bridge and have a glass of wine, maybe a sandwich, etc. And enjoy the scenery, the beauty, because it is gorgeous. And you can do that if you'd like. Because please remember, you don't have to go on any. This is your holiday. If you choose to go on a tour, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to if you don't want to. We don't tell you what to do. This is, again, it's yours. But we end up in Amsterdam, or we start in Amsterdam, either embark or disembark. But I would highly recommend that you talk to Jenny about staying a couple of nights extra or arriving a few nights extra and doing one of our pre or our posts, because Amsterdam has a ton of beautiful museums. And of course, they've got the Anne Frank house. And Jenny would have to make your reservations ahead of time for the Anne Frank house. Otherwise, you're going to be waiting in line for 2 days. The line just circles all the time. But in Amsterdam, we do a canal tour, we do a walking tour, and you're in the region of Amsterdam, and we're docked right there in the heart of Amsterdam, the docks. So it's very easy for you to get off the ship even in the evening and go to one of the pubs. You know? And bicycles, you have to watch out for the bicycles in Amsterdam because there's more bicycles than there are people, I think. And there's a parking lot, quite unique just for bicycles. So again, Amsterdam. One of the things that's going to be happening in Amsterdam, well, it's actually in Almere, is Floriade in 2022. It happens every 10 years. It's a horticultural expo, and we have tickets. It starts on the 14th of April, 2022, and it ends October 9th. So any journey that you take with us that is in Amsterdam, that either embarks in Amsterdam or disembarks in Amsterdam, you will have the opportunity to do the Floriade. Okay? If you are on one of our Tulip Time cruises, right, which is Amsterdam, you will have not only the Hook and Gardens, but you will also have the Floriade in 2022. So if you're a gardener, it's got not only the flowers, it's the gardening, it's got science, it also has food expos, right? So again, it's quite nice. And then again, it only happens every 10 years. You'll have that opportunity. So let's try the Danube, and we're only going to do the upper Danube this time. I mean, even though I love the lower Danube, it's full of history because it was, all those countries were behind the Iron Curtain at one time. But we're going to start in either, you could arrive in Munich, you could arrive in Vilshofen, Prague, etc. So again, Nuremberg, right? So those are the kind of the cities. But we're going to start in Prague, right? And we're going to travel along the Danube and look at all these beautiful cities: Linz, Kresge, Vienna, Boslava. All right. So as you're starting in Prague, and it could be a post as well, all right? It's a walking city. It is the Paris of the East. And one of the things I always neglect to tell you is that with AmaWaterways, and this is an AmaWaterways exclusive, really, if you do a pre or a post with us, we meet you at the airport, and if Jenny purchases air through AmaWaterways, your transfers are included, okay? We take you to the hotel, and that is where you are going to meet your cruise manager. Your cruise manager will be with you for your pre, take you to the ship, and if you choose to do a post, will be with you on the post. You will have one person that you will get to know and love the entire journey, okay? And all of our pre and post tours that are there are included. So there aren't really no optional tours. Now, with Prague, walking tour, you have a castle hike. Again, we give you some choices. The castle hike to Niesen, which is a concentration camp that you can visit if you'd like. And again, we take care of your luggage. You have breakfast, the city tour. And I highly recommend walking Prague. The food for lunch and for dinner is very inexpensive and very delicious. And actually, I'm going to also give you an insider tip. Depending upon your appetite, you can share a meal because I want to tell you, they give you so much food. The first time my husband and I had dinner in Prague, when the first night we were kind of arrived, we both ordered a dinner. Well, I'm going to tell you, we could not finish it. I mean, we couldn't even take it back to the hotel, unfortunately, but it was huge. So just FYI. And of course, that's the castle up there. And you don't have to do the whole castle hike if you don't want to. Do part of it, and then if you want to go, go play. One of the things you will also notice about Prague is that as you're walking, you see all these posters, and they say, concert here at 5 o'clock, or concert here at 6:30, or concert here at 6 o'clock. Take advantage of it. They're beautiful concerts, very inexpensive, 10 to 12 euros per person, right? For an hour and a half to 2 hour concert in a church. in, in a cathedral, etc. It's lovely. And then go for dinner. Let's embark in Vilshofen. Okay. And in Vilshofen, we've done many, many christenings in the Vilshofen for our ships. But one of the things we always do in Vilshofen is our Oktoberfest, whether it's pre or post, as we're heading, as you're ending, because you will disembark in Vilshofen or you will embark in Vilshofen or Nuremberg. Okay. Now, Oktoberfest. We go into this beautiful permanent tent. It's a permanent AMA tent, all right? And you will meet the beer queen. You will see the band doing the oh yes, papa music. Don't laugh, all right? And you'll get your beer and your pretzel and you'll be listening to all the music and you're listening to the people speak and then they'll want to dance. And you'll kind of go, nah. Let me tell you, by the end of the evening, everybody's dancing because everybody's having a lot of fun. So it's kind of a FYI, be ready. Then we're going to head to Passau. And Passau is one of those cities where I think we give you just too many options. I should say choices. Because you do a bike tour, you could do the hike, you could do a walking tour, you can do a culinary tour. But the one thing that you have to do, no matter what tour you select, is you have to go to St. Stephen's. Because St. Stephen's Church houses the largest pipe organ in Europe, and it plays every single day at noon. And if we are there at noon, you will hear it. Absolutely magnificent. So, and this is the view from the hike. And I've actually done the hike in not so nice weather and also in beautiful weather. And it's an easy hike, but the end result is lovely. That's what you see. And then we head to Linz, and where we dock in Linz. Now, do you remember this, Jenny?
I do.
Where at night, that building, that glass building that you see in the center, it lights up all different colors. It goes all different color schemes. It's a media arts, it's their media arts center. And it is, you're in your cabin, you're looking at this, and it's just like, wow, look at this. And then you have to pinch yourself. I'm in Linz. So in Linz, you can do a half-day Linz or you could do a full-day Linz if you so desire. You could do a bike tour. You could do a media arts tour. Then you also have some choices of doing a full-day Salzburg, a half-day Salzburg, or a half-day Kreski. Do you remember what you did, Jenny?
I'm trying to remember. I think it was the Kreski.
I think it was too. I think I remember seeing you on that one.
Yeah.
I love Kreski. And of course, Salzburg. If you are on a hunt for the best strudel in Europe, this is the town. I should say city because that's what it is. Because in my initial, as I was trekking through Europe, I had to find especially Austria, right? The best strudel, because my grandmother was Austrian and she made the best apple strudel, and I found it in Salzburg. Just kind of sitting in a cafe and thinking, oh my God, my grandmother's apple strudel. So, and then of course Kreski, beautiful 16th century town. I mean, it's amazing. It really, truly is amazing. You feel like you've stepped back in time, and you can go up to the castle and you can see the whole region. And one part of it has they maintained the 16th century look and feel and buildings, etc. And the other part is if you're on the castle and you're trying to turn your back, you'd actually see the modern city of Kreski. And then of course we're in the Walcha Valley. Like the Rhine Gorge, we're going to sail there, and you will get a lecture, a dissertation, some ideas of the Walcha Valley. And the Walcha Valley is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So, you've been going through a lot of UNESCO World Heritage places. Now, with the Walcha Valley, we will stop at Weissenkirchen, a small little town that has great wine tasting or beer tasting, right? beautiful little villages, but it is the kind of the gateway, as you could see the vineyards over there. It is the gateway for us to get to Dürnstein. And Dürnstein is the apricot capital of the world. And we can do some tastings, we could do a city tour, and you could do a bike. You can actually go up to this ruin up here, which was a castle at one time. And that's where Richard the Lionhearted was actually held captive during the Crusades at one point. So, but you are going to want to bring home apricot, either apricot jam. You're not going to want to bring home just one.
Nope, I brought home the apricot liqueur.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and it is quite lovely.
It's gone now, so I need to go back and get more.
Okay. I'll join you because I do miss it. I do miss going. And I remember when I was with you, I remember getting an apricot liqueur, and I got 3 jars of apricot jam, which I gave to friends. And I said, we should have bought a 4th.
I always do that to myself. I give away presents, and then I realize, oh, right, I forgot to save one for myself.
I know. And of course, apricots. And like I said, we do tastings. Oh, and it's so good. And then we go to Melk. And, every time I visit Melk and the Abbey, it's a working abbey. It's a Benedictine working abbey, right? It's amazing. You find new and different things. And it is an amazing place, I have to say. The library, we don't spend enough time in the library just to
I would agree with that. I took this tour and I wanted to stay there much longer, but
yeah, unfortunately we don't, because it's got over 1 million books in it, and many of them are original, hand scribed by the monks. So yes, it is quite beautiful. And then we head to Vienna. Now in Vienna, we don't dock right at the heart of the city. So we kind of dock a little bit outside the city. But it's a great bike tour. If you want to take the bike, go with the bike tour through from the ship into Vienna. It's not far at all. And then do a city tour on your bike. Or with us, you could do a bus tour into the city where we drop you off. And your tour guide will actually tell you, this is where you could pick up the bus again, right? Because the bus will circle. It circles every 45 minutes to an hour, or the tour guide will tell you when it will be there. You will have not only your city tour, but you will have the opportunity to stay there all day. You could actually stay there into the evening hours if you want, and your tour guide will say you need to be at another place different than where the bus dropped you off, if you so desire to do that. And many people do. Or you come back late in the afternoon, have dinner on board, and then go back out again. But we do give you the one time in Vienna is the one optional tour still to do the concert. It's a Mozart Strauss concert. And the reason why we give it as an optional tour, only because many people do not want to do it, or they've already done it. And we have to obviously get tickets the evening that we're there. But the city tour is wonderful. If you're there during Christmas markets, you will just be aghast as the number of places that there's a Christmas market in Vienna.
I still have my mug, my mulled wine that we picked up in Vienna.
And that's another that's another insider tip that many people don't realize, that if you're doing a Christmas market, you have the Christmas market blue wine, mulled wine, whatever you want to call it, mugs. Don't give them back for the euro. Keep them as a souvenir, because they bring back memories. Mm-hmm. And that's what travel is all about, is relating to the memories that you had. And then we head to Boslava, the Coronation city. And it got that name because back in 1535 to 1815, there were 12 coronations that happened in this city, right? So again, you have the taste, or you could do a hike, or you do a city tour. And this is the castle hike. Or you could take a bike up there. And then, of course, Budapest. This is where you will disembark in Budapest, and we never spend enough time in Budapest, never. I would highly recommend you have Jenny spend some time doing either a pre or a post in Budapest, because the city is gorgeous.
It is one of my favorites, yes. I lived there for about 3 months. It's been 4 years ago now. So yeah, Alma does not give you enough time there. So if you talk to me about this trip, I will try to get you to stay longer in Budapest. You'll love it. Love it. There's so many great, unique things to see there. And I'll let you show in your slides here.
Well, but the other thing that's really neat about, if you're there for a pre or a post, you have lunch and dinner on your own. There's so many wonderful places to have lunch or dinner, and so inexpensive.
Yeah.
So inexpensive. So we do the city tour. We go castle hike. We do Matthias Church, Hero Square, the Bastion. It's just amazing. Absolutely, it's a beautiful city. And you got one side of the river is Buda, the next side is Pest, and we do give you some free time, but in my estimation, never enough time in Budapest. Never. And then, of course, you've got the Parliament all lit up at night. It's absolutely gorgeous. So you disembark you either embark or disembark for this particular journey on the Danube, and social distancing, or what are the protocols? And last summer, AmaWaterways was the only river cruise company that sailed, and we sailed for the German, Swiss, and Austrian market. What happened, to give you a little background, is Ehoy was a tour operator in Germany, contacted Rudy and Christine and said, I know you guys can't come to Europe, but I have Austrians, Swiss, and Germans that would love to experience a river cruise. So they chartered the Ama Christina from July 5th to November 2nd, through November 2nd, actually. And we had to meet every single protocol, because the Christina was on the Rhine, okay, for the Netherlands, Luxembourg, Belgium, Switzerland, Germany, Austria, right? And we met them. We had not one incident at all, not one. Yes, the crew wears face coverings and they smile with their eyes. If you were traveling with us last summer, we'd have a face covering in the public areas, but not in our lounge, right? Temperature checks were taken in the morning as you went down to breakfast, the crew all the time. Social distancing, of course, we have our quiet box systems, so you don't have to be up close and personal with your tour guide. And your luggage is sanitized prior to be put in your cabin. But the big thing is the clean air. When Rudy has designed even the very first ship, which was the Amadagio, all right, every single stateroom, every single hallway, dining area, lounge, lobby is a separate air system. You're breathing clean air. You're not breathing somebody else's air, right? And I think that's one of the ways that we didn't have any problems. And unfortunately, we still can't travel. We suspended March, we suspended April, and the governments aren't letting us in yet. And we are ready to sail. So we are also waiting to see what kind of protocols right now. And if you're interested in what our protocols are, the latest and greatest, it's amawaterways.com/protocols. Okay. We are offering a travel waiver plus insurance. It is through AmaWaterways. It's AmaWaterways. It's not through any other insurance company. What it is cancel for any reason up to 24 hours prior to departure. And you can actually purchase this up to 48 hours prior to you departing. But if Jenny purchases our travel guard insurance through AmaWaterways, it's $80 additional per person. If there's another third-party insurance that you have or she can offer you, it's $175 per person. So again, it's peace of mind. Cancel for any reason up to 24 hours. we are offering some wonderful opportunities for you to enjoy travel through Jenny and Compass Travel. All right. Number one, if you're a solo traveler, and there are many out there, we have our normal solo traveler policy is 25% of the double rate for our category D and E, which is my fixed window level. All right. What we are offering until the end of this month is 25% off the double rate for any balcony cabin, excluding our suites. Okay. So again, the opportunity for you to either have a French balcony or a twin balcony cabin at 25% additional of the double rate versus the 150 or the 200%. We are also offering back-to-back savings. As I mentioned earlier in my presentation about the France, well, you do the north of France. You take the next journey on the south of France, we give you 10% of that, plus you get your past passenger discount of $100 per person, okay? Now, there are so many combinations to be able to do that, and they don't have to be right after one another, right? So if you say you're on one of our France journeys, but you want to do the Danube, and you want to take a week in between to get to that, get to Vilshofen or get to Prague, you'll still do a back. It's still considered in our minds a back-to-back. And Jenny can really talk to you about all there's a ton of cruises that you can do, okay? And then this month, we are offering free land packages for our French itineraries. So for Taste de Bordeaux, for the Impressions of the Seine in Paris, our Paris and Normandy, as well as our Essence. We're offering free land, right? And that is for not only 21, but for 22 as well. So again, but that ends February 28th. So you have to talk to Jenny quickly. And we are offering some specials because as I mentioned to you, we have our 23 is opening, 5% off of on any balcony cabin, right? Mm-hmm. We are offering, like I said, also in 23, we are also offering complimentary land packages, such as in Prague. Okay, you might want to consider. And then we are doing the 22 triple holiday savings, where you could save up to $1,000 per person, category upgrade, and a $50 onboard credit. So again, if you're interested in doing a family trip, and that's what's happening a lot. So don't wait till the last minute to think that, oh, Christmas markets, they'll be wide open. They're not. So many of the families are, because they haven't been together in 20, and even now in 21, and part of it, they want to do a family trip. So Christmas markets seem to be the way they're doing it, because we allow children up 4 years and older, even though and we find that from Thanksgiving through New Year's. And I think we had children on our trip, right, Jenny?
Yes,
we
did.
And it was fun to watch them, on the dance floor, etc. But you could barely know that they were there, really.
Yeah, they were great kids.
Yeah. I've been on a couple of our cruises where I sat in the lounge and talked to some of the children there, and the children, maybe I should call they're not children, they're young people, 10 and 12 years old. They're so well traveled. I'm envious where they've been.
Yeah.
And one of the things that you should know that what we're having in 2023, we are having a 7-river journey through Europe. If you've ever thought of doing a world cruise, but you didn't want to do that for 180 days, well, how about seeing Europe in 46 days? And that's what this is. It's a 7-river journey. The date is June 1st, 2023. It's only one sailing right now, but I'm going to tell you some of the interest that we are getting. I think our operations department is thinking maybe a second one. 46 nights. You will visit 14 countries and 7 rivers. Okay. So the countries that you're going to visit: France, Germany, Netherlands, Belgium, Switzerland, Luxembourg, the Czech Republic, Austria, Slovenia, Hungary, Croatia, Serbia, Romania, and Bulgaria. Beautiful countries. And you are going to be on 7 magnificent rivers. The
That
Seine.
sounds amazing.
Yes, it is amazing. And yes, unlike a world cruise where you're on one ship and they may, if you don't want to do a certain crossing or whatever, they may fly you, then you'll be someplace else. You are on, yes, 4 different ships, the Amalira, Christina, Prima, and Averte. But you don't have to worry about packing. We will pack for you. We will transfer everything. This is amazing. And yes, early booking discounts. If Jenny wants to do a group, hey, we do groups on this as well. And it does not open as far as total reservations until March 15th. You're getting a heads up. If you want to talk to Jenny about you would like to do this, talk to her because she can put your name on a wait list. And if you are really serious about this, a deposit, and then you will be guaranteed a spot. Okay? So, but we're not taking reservations. We're not confirming anything until March 15th. So again, this is kind of exciting for us. Now, because you listened to me in my spiel at this event, you book any new 2021 or 22 AmaWaterways journey. I should probably add 23. I don't have it on the slide, Jenny, but it is going to be 23 as well.
Great.
Right? With Compass Travel, right, Jenny, by March 8th, you will receive an additional $100 per person discount. Now, if you choose the 46 night cruise, 7 rivers, I will extend it to that. Right? So, thank you. And you know, if you've been on an ocean cruiser, you know, and I know, they do take you to beautiful countries. They do. But my rivers, they take you through them. And you will get up close and personal with the cities, towns, and villages that we see and we visit. So, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome.
I'm going to turn your screen off for a moment. Just enjoy the two of us here, just as we wrap up. I want to thank everyone for watching this, making it all the way to the end, because then you've got all the great promotions that Mary Margaret and AmaWaterways is offering if you book with me, with Compass Travel. So how do you get a hold of me? Just send me an email, send it to info at travelwithcompass.com. That's all one word. Give us a call, 815-756-1547. Leave us a comment. And if you're watching this on Facebook or on YouTube, leave us a comment, and I will be reading those and following up. I'm pretty diligent. I'm a little bit addicted to my phone, so I do follow up pretty quickly on those comments listed. So I'm sold. I'm so sold on river cruising, and Ama's got just beautiful, beautiful ships. So if this is something you're thinking of doing, give me a call. Let's get this done. So thank you so much, Mary Margaret, for sharing your presentation. You've got me itching to go back so bad.
I know, every time I do these, I want to go.
We'll be there again.
Yes.
So
thank you so much, Jenny.
Yes. Thank you. And good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank you, Jenny.
Yeah, stop my sharing here, recording.